We will be installing a downpipe, well, the stock downpipe on the Audi A4 today. So this is basically for also some of the newer A4 models, even the A5 models is very similar, and it's actually not such a difficult job. Just the space is a bit difficult to get to some areas, but don't worry, we'll go through everything in this video. So if you want to see the tutorial starting, go to this time frame I'm posting over here, because I quickly just want to give some of my guys that are interested in the build just an update on why I'm gonna put back my stock intake. Oh, sorry, it's stock exhaust, stock intake. So basically, if you guys were a subscriber or still a subscriber or aren't a subscriber, my car is over boosting. Literally, as soon as the boost kicks in, and I think at 2,700 RPMs, it spikes by 0.2 bar boost of what it should make. So let's say it should make 1.2 bar, it's actually boosting 1.4 bar. I think that's about 4 or 5 PS, no, yeah, maybe about 4 PSI. 4 to 5 PSI boost creep just at when the boost kicks in, and as the RPMs goes, my boost actually drops. So I've tried multiple things. I went back to my stock file to try and see, maybe it was the tune file I had that was the problem. Turns out the stock file was the same. I sent in my turbo twice for reconditioning. The first time I was not so happy with it, I sent it back in, even though it passed the files and everything. I've made videos upon it in the end, well, previously, before. I was also not happy with the first one, so the second time I went in, I also worked on my wastegate. The car is doing good, the turbo is doing excellent, but it's still having the same problem where it creeps on the boost and it drops off. On my car, I also have a cold air intake, the cone filter, cold induction kit. A lot of people have got so many names for it. I tried to put it in the stock one, it didn't work. The only thing I never tried was going back to my stock catalytic converter downpipe. So we're gonna put it back in, and hopefully it's gonna help. I've just got this thing of there's no back pressure, so it just adds to that extra spike because all the air can just blow out. And because the downpipe is also 76 millimeters in diameter, which is much more than this part of here. To give you an idea, let's quickly switch the camera. If you look down here, look at the diameter of this pipe. So yeah, it is cold. It's very big. Compared to over here, I would say it's about the same size going into the catalytic converter, and then afterwards it's like puny. I don't know if that's 50 something mil, maybe 63, I'm not sure, 56, yeah, somewhere, but let's quickly see. We'll do a proper comparison. Okay, it looks bigger now because it's much closer, but you can imagine it is actually a little bit smaller going out here at the back. So I don't know, maybe if it's gonna help to keep the boost higher or whatever at higher RPMs, because the pipe's a bit smaller, it creates some back pressure, and especially with the catalytic converter on the inside. So let's quickly go get this cone filter out, so we just got so much more area space to work in. Okay, so now that I've got the oxygen sensor out, the O2 sensor, and the catalytic converter sensor out there, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna free up these 4 bolts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to give you an idea quick, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's actually very difficult to get to the one at the bottom back. Really, why are they hooting? Anyway, but that is the easy part. The difficult part is to get the two that is there at the back. To give you an idea, oh, sorry, there is three. 1, 2, 3. Let me quickly show you guys how far we have to go inwards to get to those bottom part of the downpipe. So here we go. Here's the turbo over there. Here's the steering column. This entire bar over here is getting so narrow in here. Let me just close the stand. I'm gonna go further. Here is where you turn your steering wheel. It turns the power steering column over there. We go even further, and here it is. I mean, look at that. That hallway, that is like there. I'm touching the front. That is super far. So here are the bolts. Bolt 1, bolt 2, and there at the back, bolt 3 we gotta remove. So the top one I'm not afraid of. We can remove that one from the top, but removing these two from the bottom will be so much easier. So let me quickly get my tools, and then we're gonna try this out. I don't know how I'm gonna get you guys some videos, but I'll try my best. My gosh. Let me tell you guys now, that was not an easy job. It was so darn difficult to get the bolts out. Just to give you guys an idea quick, let me just put on the flashlight. We'll talk about the exhaust pipes over there now and compare the two. So bolt number 1, 2, 3, and 4. To get to these two bolts here on this side was the worst thing. And even down there, where is my flashlight? Maybe if I grab my flashlight, you guys will be able to see a bit better. Let's see. there it is over there. It basically goes around this shaft over here. So that is like your steering axle. So it goes straight because this is the driver's side steering wheel is right over there. So it goes down there into the steering column at the bottom. So the downpipe actually has to go around that pipe. So if your car is driving on the left hand side, it would have mean that yours would have came down there. What is that? That is, this is just like an aircon pipe. So it would have gone down there into the steering column down there somewhere. But anyway, so there is the pipe that it had to go to. The 2 bolts at the bottom was easy, but that one there, I don't know if you guys can see. Let's widen up. There we go. The one at the top was super darn difficult to get out. I actually had to use this freaking long, look at this thing. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4 extensions. Well, you can say 5 extensions. This is basically a flex extension. This was to actually just get like around the pipe into the hole. So it's not actually like you don't have to use this, but it's just so much easier. But look at that thing. I had to buy more stuff to be able to get it out. It is ridiculous. All right, so let's quickly switch this light off. We're gonna put it right over there. This is what the slot is made for. It's made for to keep stuff, bolts and everything. If you own an A4, which you probably do, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so there's not a lot of space here. It might feel like we might be squished in here a little bit. But anyway, here is the one that was specifically made for my car, and this is the stock one over here. To give you an idea, when they made my custom one, obviously these flanges, they look very similar, right? It's because they are. This one I had to purchase afterwards. Mine they actually cut up over here, cut it off there, and cut it off here at the back. And oops, I bumped the bottle over. So here is the piece at the back, and then the piece at the front. So yeah, basically they just then custom welded this entire piece. Sorry, it's a bit dirty. This entire piece up until the end. So if we do actually place them next to each other like that, you would say, damn bro, the difference is not really that different until because you see this one is actually standing up. So let's be fair, let's lift this one up right next to it. Look at the difference. I mean, like, even if you look here at the 2 bends, that is a massive difference. So I think this downpipe is 2 sizes up. I think this is a 50 something and this is a 70 something. So because yeah, now you get your 50s, your 60s and your 70s. I forgot now, it's like your 76 mil I think, and then a 56 or 53 or something mil. So this pipe was definitely an upgrade, but I think this is the reason why I'm over boosting. So I talked to one of my friends. He actually said since he changed his downpipe, he's also having the overboosting problem. It'll just be finally great to see if it is the catalytic converter that was preventing him from overboosting, and obviously the smaller diameter pipe keeping some additional back pressure to the turbo side to keep the boost up and not just drop down at the higher RPMs. All right, whew. Out of breath, let's get this thing back in the car. So the downpipe is currently back installed. It was one of those jobs again where you don't do it tomorrow, you do it in a couple of days. I actually came across a little bit of a problem, which let me show you guys actually straight away. So here you can see the downpipe is installed, but this was the one that I actually removed. It's true because there is the other one. So it turns out that this downpipe over here is from the 1.8 turbo. Not actually the 2-liter turbo, and who would have guessed that it would have been different. So this flange, so the flange over there fits perfectly on the turbo, on the 1.8 and the 2-liter, obviously on the 2-liter because this is a 2-liter. But this flange over here is the problem. So basically I believe that this is a 50 something mil diameter pipe, where the 2-liter turbos is actually a little bit bigger, believe it or not, which I think is 63 or something. So the flange over here on the 2-liter turbo is actually a bit bigger, obviously to compensate the bigger pipe. So what happened was, when I actually installed this downpipe, it fits through the one hole, like the one hole can actually bolt into the screw, but the other two balls was like far out. It couldn't even get close to it. Also, what I did notice is it's almost like this pipe over here, sorry, the flange is rotated a little bit on the 1.8 compared to the 2-liter. So we couldn't have installed it. So that's why we actually, oops, that's why we actually went and got ourselves a mini cat, which we are gonna do in a new video, where I'm basically gonna go and install it and test out and see how everything goes. Apparently people did tell me if I do install a mini cat, it might resolve my problem. Maybe an air to fuel ratio problem, not the boost problem, but we are gonna try anyway. So what we got over here is a copper compound. So if you guys are not familiar with it, it basically prevents seizing and galling. What stands over there? Extreme temperature up to 1100 degrees Celsius. So basically we are gonna apply this compound to, let's quickly turn on the flash. There we go. To all of these bolts over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you guys can remember, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna apply it onto the surface areas of the threads, just so that in the future, if we have to remove it, we won't have that struggle where everything is so darn tight again. So there we go, we got it in. I did not actually got so much footage of where I install it. It's basically 4 bolts at the top, 3 bolts at the bottom. You just basically tighten them up. Remember to put your copper paste on it, just so that it doesn't like seize up and get so darn difficult to remove it. And then, yeah, and then your 2 oxygen sensors at the top. So it was just so difficult. The space is like really cramped. I'm running a bit out of time. The car needs to get off of the ramps. It's been basically 5-6 days now this car has been on the ramps, so yeah, it's just, it has to come off. But anyway guys, I do hope that this video helped you all out. If it did, make sure to drop a big like, and I'll see all of you legends in my next video. But for now, peace out.